In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Exactly.
Okay, fine. So what?
Why wasn't there any blood underneath it?
So, when we discovered the body,
The blood was already
the
drawn.
knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body.
Yeah.
Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Exactly.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
No. Yeah, Monokuma file.
The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
Oh yeah, it sure did. Totally forgot about that.
Then the knife
Was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer.
Yep.
They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her. Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing. The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, I have a question. It kind of goes back to the beginning, but what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
Because it wanted to. I don't know, Hina.
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
Yeah, tell
I'll
me.
tell ya. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic level spontaneous combustion.
Sure,
I
man.
might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
Well, it's the fragments. Right. Yeah, it has to be the fragments.
I got it! After
Fragment
the
of the bomb.
explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right?
Yeah.
That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
Have you
That's
now?
only natural. Because, of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's
Yeah,
part
we
of a
did.
bomb.
Oh! Then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Exactly.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyoko.
I mean, it's not necessarily the only other possible suspect, but I get why you would think that.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
We need to determine what ultimately killed the victim. I need to concentrate. Do you know?
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. Yes.
Well, yeah. She was already told me to...
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? I mean, there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. That's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body. Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined.
Not exactly
correct?
what I wanted to try.
Shoot!
Sorry, I wanted to.
Then, shall we continue the debate?
That's what I wanted to do.
The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
I think we have to slurp.
I guess.
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't you because of the knife. And then there's only one.
Oh, yeah. Cody, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Yeah, me too.
Then shall we continue the debate?
The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
No, that's what it
No,
is.
it's wrong.
With the titanium arrows, which were bundled
Mukuro
together,
died because of
probably.
the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
Yeah.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is
I
what
don't
killed her.
like how easily we put that over there. Like, I don't know, it feels weird to just be like, nah, that probably doesn't matter, you know?
But then, what was the murder weapon?
The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh, I bet it was the pickaxe!
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power. I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground and spit on it.
Damn.
I feel the same way. Looks like we're on the same page this time.
Seriously?
We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
Yeah, we do.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you've deduced the real murder weapon?
Of course we have to do that. The real murder weapon is the titanium arrows.
I got it! Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something. And that's what killed her. And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
Yep.
Arrow. That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
Are you sure? That sounds kind of weird.
Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master? You have no right!
I'm not back-talking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
I don't blame Hina for doubting it, but because there's one more thing about that weapon. One more secret. Are we really going to have to discuss the fact that there was tape around it? Yep, we do.
The
Okay.
titanium arrow.
It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced.
Well, because in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Shoot!
Oh wait, yeah, okay.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo.
I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced.
Well, because it said the weapon must have been about as... It seems like an arrow would just...
Talking back to Master, you have
No right!
Oh wait, I'm hitting Monokuma. Why did I...
The titanium arrow.
It was in the dojo.
I have no doubt that was the
Are
murder.
you sure?
You don't sound convinced.
Because it said the weapon must have been about as thick as an... It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
No, it's wrong!
I was hitting the wrong thing on it.
You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Another weapon?
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled-up wad of duct tape. The killer probably uses duct tape
Also,
to
there was
bind
blood on it.
multiple arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe. And that's exactly what the killer did.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks. One stick is weak, but put them together, and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
That's harsh.
How is it harsh? Are you even listening?
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, it was you, Kyoko.
I've never been to the dojo.
Oh no.
That's a
you
lie.
Absolutely have.
Yeah, you investigated the fucking dojo. What the fuck?
How can you say that with such confidence?
Because we have proof, of course. Don't we, Makoto?
Well, not necessarily, because, I mean, yeah, okay.
Oh,
Yeah, we do.
What's the matter? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer. You know what will happen if you do, don't you? If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to the death of us all. Remember?
of course I remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
Yeah, it's the dojo key.
I got it!
But we could have
The
just
one
as
thing
easily
that
planted
proves
that down.
Kyoko was in the dojo is right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room.
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle. Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just
Hold on a second.
not this again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
No, it's not that I want to defend her. It's just there's one more thing I need to ask her. Kyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
I was just protecting you.
What?
She was protecting me. Then does that mean she knew I was being attacked? And she came to my rescue. Could that be when... Which would mean that Kyoko, she killed someone for me?
That's enough. The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
Wait, I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it. Can you tell me I'm wrong?
I should know.
What? Kyoko should know better than anyone. Yeah, because he has a room key. She couldn't have put that fucking dojo key in there. Unless, of course, she has that little walker thingy. So basically she can open any door in the entire building. That's how she got in Makoto's room. What does that mean? I'm assuming that's Byakuya's account.
Those were...
Oh no, it's not.
You just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you...
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But
Could I really have done that?
The action of the Kyoko didn't do it. Why him?
Those words you just...
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone.
Byakuya!
Master would never hide something.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
Yeah, because she didn't have a room key. Well, we know she could have still entered, but... Yeah, I don't know.
If I'm right, Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room.
Huh? Why not?
Because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
I see. So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room...
Then obviously I had no way of getting in. Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself.
Well, unless you did that beforehand. Right. And that was... yesterday as well. That was yesterday. Guys, that was yesterday. That could still have been able to. If she'd done it beforehand. Like... For instance, she'd killed the night prior. But no, that wouldn't also make sense, because that's still the mastering.
Am I wrong?
It would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
No, that's not actually true. There was a clear contradiction in what Kyoko just said, told us. It's an obvious lie. But this just isn't like her. To try and save herself with such a desperate lie. Does she really feel that threatened? Because she's the killer? Or is it something else? Was there some deeper meaning hidden in what Kyoko said earlier? If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen. This is a trap the Mastermind has laid out for us. The Mastermind's trap. The Mastermind's trying to trap Kyoko. But what if that's not really true? What can I do? What should I do? What should I... The Mastermind's trapped. The victim was Mukuro and Kyoko killed her. What does Kyoko really know? What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie. I'm the only one who knows it's a lie. I'm the only one who can expose it. But who can I trust? What am I supposed to do? The Mastermind's trap. If you spend all your time trying to avoid danger, you'll never move forward. We know the danger, but if that risk means solving the mystery, we have no choice. Am I wrong? What do? I have to decide right here and now whether or not to expose Kyoko's lie. Run away! The thing is, the fact that the game is giving us this choice means that we have to let it go. Let it go! Runaway is not an option, and if you pursue the lie, she'll probably get executed. But let's let it go. I've made my decision. I have to believe in Kyoko. There's no way she would kill someone. There has to be some secret here. Something that has to do with the Mastermind trap that Kyoko mentioned.
Does no one have a rebuttal? Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact? I see. So you still refuse to accept it. I suppose we have to admit that Kyoko didn't put the locker key in her room. That it was someone else.
But who else could it have been?
I mean, Byakuya had a room key, right?
Yeah.
You! What are you trying to imply?
But of course I have an alibi. From nighttime on, I was with you guys the entire time. I couldn't possibly have killed anyone, or put the key in Kyoko's room.
Well, someone had to put the key in there.
There's only one other possibility I can think of. Someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there.
What? It had to be Makoto, right?
I don't see any other option.
Wait a second.
It was Lily on the
You've
table,
got
so I
it
don't
all
know.
wrong. Let's think about it one more time. There's gotta be a hidden side to this case.
Huh? A hidden side?
Yeah.
First of all, there's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't you?
Why is Monokuma being here?
Lukuro, who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead. And then we're thrown into a trial. And Kyoko even said, it's a trap the mastermind set for us. So that's why this has to be...
Okay, time's up!
What do you mean time's up? What the fuck do you mean time's up? Since when is there a time's up?
Time's up! Class trials all over! Everyone can stop talking now!
What the fuck?
Time's up?
What do you mean time's up? There's no time's up. Since when have we...
It's because you were late! So we had to push back
Sure,
the start
Monica.
time! So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you!
Kyoko knows we didn't do it. Okay.
Now, who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
Hey, hold on!
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Well, I am not guilty. We were there. Unless Makoto's not an unreliable source, so I don't know what's going on here. You think I'm the killer? Sorry, man.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. It's all your fault. Everyone, you're wrong. You've got it all wrong. I didn't do it.
Yes, indeed.
Good job, everyone. Good job.
Yep.
Yeah, they got it right. No, I know that's not true. None of this makes any sense. This whole trial doesn't make any sense.
Hey!
It makes perfect sense.
Shing!
It's the same as always. It's just like all the other class trials, and I'm gonna end it the same way.
Thrills,
It's time for
chills,
hand-pounding, positively
thrills.
thrilling punishment. Wait, why do I... Kyoko?
I don't expect you to forgive me. I know this is all my fault.
Kyoko?
Let's give it
Yeah, Kyoko knows we didn't
everything
do
we
it.
got. It's punishment time!
Okay, what the fuck? That's a school lesson. Sure. Well, I don't get why, because we didn't do it. Why is there sperm on the screen? Alter ego. We're saved. We were not even tied up. Why didn't we just run for it? What's this? What's going on? Hey, what's that? Oh yeah, it had to be.
This
Alter
is...
ego. Alter ego? Is this some stupid virus from that stupid guy? He must have planned it when he invaded my network. Damn it all to hell. I don't believe this.
It would seem...
It seems you finally made a miscalculation. No, you miscalculated from the very beginning.
What the heck?
What was that?
In other words...
What I'm saying is, you shouldn't have underestimated us. Why are you talking like you've already won? I barely felt a finger was a pinch, an itch. That stupid virus is gone now, got it? And so is Makoto. He even gets smashed flat, but you're never gonna see him again. To waste away in the garbage through pit. In a way, that's an even better special punishment. But it's still not enough. I'm still not satisfied. I'm still gonna bring despair to the rest of you. Bring despair to the entire world. Is he gone? Hey Kyoko, what's the meaning of all this? Just what the hell is going on?
Calm down.
It's okay, we're not the ones being trapped this time. Huh?
In other words...
No, it's the mastermind that's ensnared.
What did
What are
you
you
say?
talking about?
So...
You'll understand soon enough. Very soon indeed. Massive high school towers over all the other buildings in this bustling urban area. It's like the school stands at the center of the entire world. Host Peak Academy. It brings in top students from every field imaginable. A government-funded school of privilege. They say that if you come here and manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. With hundreds of years of tradition, it sends the cream of the crop into the workforce every year. It was built to raise hope in the nation's future, which makes Hope's Peak a pretty fitting name. There are two things that you need to attend this school. One, you have to already be attending high school. I didn't read the other part. Two, you have to be the very best at what you do. No ordinary student could enroll here. The only way in is if you're scouted by the school itself. And starting there at the gate of the ultimate school filled with the ultimate students was me. What? Where am I? I wake up with my head resting on top of a hard wooden desk. My body felt heaven. It wouldn't be weird for me to zonk off in the middle of some boring class or whatever, but what was I doing asleep here just now? It wasn't any classroom I'd ever been in before. What the heck is going on? Oh, damn. Hey, that's from an execution, right? The rocket? Finally. I could finally feel my mind and body start to come back together again, and then I was awake. Or was this just another dream? A dream inside a hopeless nightmare? No, this isn't a dream. I could tell because the stench invading my nostrils was too powerful for a dream. What an awful smell. It was in a vast, dark cavern with the barest hint of light sleeping in. Trash was piling high all across the area. This must be some kind of underground garbage pit. A heck of a situation to find myself in. But that was just the beginning of my problem. Was I going to be stuck in here till I wasted away and died? No, I can't let that happen. Not after what my good friend went through to save me. I remember all too well what had happened. Yeah, Alter Ego saved us. Alter Ego saved me. And he used up the last little bit of his strength to do it. So I can't give up now. For myself and for my friend. And with that, my pursuit of survival began. First up was to start looking for a way out of here. The door. Rattle. It's locked. No matter how many times I pushed or pulled or kicked it didn't budge. Getting out of here is gonna be easy. Well, I'm not getting out of here anytime soon. I decided to look around for some food. There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. But that was pointless too. Next I searched for some water. How can I be sure which liquids I can drink and which ones are all round bad idea? Again, pointless. I feel like I'm blocked on all sides. But that's still not enough reason to give up because I'm still alive. As long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. After making that proud declaration, next thing I decided to do was sleep. Go to sleep. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. That was my only way to preserve what little strength I had left after not being able to eat or drink. I can't be sure, but I think at least a full day had to have passed. And all I did was sleep and sleep. It was like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign, not exactly. It's probably gonna be Kyoko or something. What the? A strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarring me awake. As I watched a pile of garbage jostled and formed an odd shape. Did something fall down over there? Something fell from above. What could it have been? Also, how did you survive a drop down this? This is a desk. It's probably the one that fell down with me. That's a rocket and a tank. I'd better not think too much about what I'm seeing down here. Is that an airplane? How did something like that wind up in the school's garbage pit? Did a giant piece of trash just fall down here? I carefully stretched my hand out towards whatever it was that tumbled down here with me.
Just a second.
Kyoko! A giant piece of trash. Rude. Before she even emerged from the pile of garbage, I knew it was.
It smells...
This place smells awful. Kyoko? She has a cup of noodle on it.
Indeed.
You look like you're doing better than I expected. What are you doing here?
So...
Is it obvious I'm here to help you? I'm glad to hear that, Kyoko. You've got a bit of garbage in your head. She gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash, then faced me again.
Hey.
First I have something for you. Go ahead and eat it. We can talk once you're finished. Thank you. I snatched the bread and water that she was holding out for me. Within seconds, it was in my mouth, making its way towards my stomach. Whew, that really hit the spot. Now I've got all the energy I need to keep going. So you still haven't given up then? Of course not. After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all I'm good at. But that's not such a bad thing to be good at. But Kyoko, why did you come to rescue me?
So...
To pay a debt. Oh no, to atone. Atone?
You...
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. So you knew that I knew.
Indeed.
But even though I knew I did nothing to help you, I abandoned you. Don't say that, you didn't abandon me. No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. Yeah, she kinda fucking did, you know. You were trying to save me and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
However...
But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but... There was a reason that I had to survive, no matter the cost. Why did you have to survive?
It's true.
I'll tell you everything. The reason I have to survive...
In other words...
is so that I could do what I came to the school to do. What? I made up my mind to come to Hope Speak Academy for one very important reason. So you have some reason for coming to Hope Speak?
Indeed.
That's right, at least I did once. Once. Until recently I'd forgotten what it was. You forgot, but that's... I had no memory of what my purpose was. No memory? That's impossible. Amnesia? Then, is it really true you lost your memory?
Makoto.
Do you remember Makoto? Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived at the school? The first thing? You're talking about when we fainted, right? I fainted and when I woke up I was trapped here.
That's right.
I fainted too, and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself, a disconnection.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it, at that point my memory was gone. At that time I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I'd come to this school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. But what would make you forget all that?
Hey.
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seemed much too convenient. Are you saying you think you lost your memory because...
Indeed.
I don't think I'm positive it was the work of the mastermind. They stole my memory. But why would they want to do that? There's only one reason I can come up with. Because of my purpose and my abilities, somehow they wouldn't interfere with the mastermind's plans. So the mastermind just stole them from you?
However...
And it could also mean somehow my memories may be connected to the mystery of the school and the mastermind. Which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time. If what you say is true, why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you?
Why is that?
If it had that, and we all worked as one, the mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's always the chance that the mastermind's actually one of us.
Correct.
Well, don't make too big of a deal of it. It's just a possibility. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right? The mastermind, one of us? If she believed that, then of course you couldn't trust anyone around her. In which case, it only makes sense that she would look into her missing memory by herself.
However...
That being said, there was a limit to what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me. But why me? Because among everyone, you were least likely to be the mastermind. That was just intuition, but... I see. Your intuition was right though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been a mastermind.
I understand. I should understand everything. My goal isn't to get out of here. It's to stay here.
It's just like the dream I had before, but why did that just happen?
Listen.
Are you okay? Oh yeah, it's nothing. It is nothing, right?
Hey.
Even now, I still trust you, you know. It's just I'm not really used to relying on others.
Correct.
I know I never asked you for the help the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced. Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just her personality. You said you had a reason for doing all that investigating on her own. So how did that turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
So...
I think there's still a lot I don't remember, but at the very least, I was finally able to recall my purpose and my ability. You mentioned your ability. My ability, what everyone should have known from me. I'm the ultimate detective. Well, of course you fucking are. The fact that you need to even say it is disgusting to me. Like, you didn't need to say that. It was kind of obvious. But, yeah, I get it. The ultimate detective. And the reason I came to Hope Speak Academy, there was someone I had to find here in the school. You had to find someone? Who?
So...
Well, it was the headmaster of Hope Speak Academy. Headmaster? Why did you want to find the headmaster? Because he's my father. What?
In other words...
I was separated from him as a child, and as it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope Speak. Kyoko's dad. Is Hope Speak's headmaster? Then that explains when Alter Ego told us how he thought the headmaster was involved. I'll find a way. Huh? No matter what it takes, I will find the headmaster.
What?
No matter the cost.
So,
Kyoko, what's going on? My memory hadn't come back at that point. But when he said that, I felt strange. This makes perfect sense now, of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him. That makes sense. But listen, Makoto, I want to make things perfectly clear so there's no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said what I felt based on what I'd seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room. Then what did you see in there?
So...
The room had been ransacked, the shelves were a mess, the desk drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything was had been in there. You mean the mastermind, right?
It's true.
That was my assumption, yes, and to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I'd found. But why there? Because I also found this in the headmaster's room. This is some kind of map?
Indeed.
It's a layout of the entirety of Hope Speak Academy. I found it in the headmaster's room along with Mukuro's profile and the key. The map showed that the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for faculty use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time, and I figured that the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed that if that were true, the room would likely hold more clues, so I went to check.
Correct.
And that's when I finally remembered. I remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of that room. So we went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there.
However,
But once I got there, I noticed that the second floor of dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. So what was it like, that part of the school, I mean? It's hard to describe. All I can say is, the moment I saw it, I realized whatever's going on in this school is more horrific than we've ever imagined. What do you mean?
so...
I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself, and I'm sure you'll get a chance soon enough. It sounds like it must be important, and really ominous.
However,
Of course, once I got to the second floor of the dorms, there were no cameras and monitors, which is why I had no idea what was going on in the rest of the building. It has to do with Mukuro Kisaba, doesn't it?
however,
Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her, and I know that it wasn't you either. I know you're right, but that just means everyone but you and me had an alibi, so then who did kill her?
anyway,
What I can say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Mukuro Kasaba was to get me killed. Get you killed? Yeah, everything was laid out so that I would say that she had the key.
indeed.
I stole that key and disappeared, and in retaliation they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me.
Correct.
That was the point of the class trial. It was. The mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly. You mean because of the school regulations?
That's right.
Exactly. With minimal restrictions, you are free to explore Hope Speak Academy at your discretion.
In other words,
The mastermind is adamant about following the rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it. The mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules. That makes it sound like the mastermind themselves is somehow bound by the school regulations.
hey,
There's one other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Mukuro Kisaba. What's that? There was a point when Mukuro may not have become the victim. It could have been you, Makoto. Yeah, I think that's what was going on. They wanted to kill me, because otherwise what was the point of them sneaking into my room? They for sure tried to kill me, but they didn't succeed, because Kyoko saved their fucking ass. But that's what they tried to do, but Kyoko saw that. But I also question, how did she do that? Because she wasn't in her own room and everything... that just doesn't make sense to me. I'll be very honest with that. That doesn't make sense to me. It could have... I could have become the victim.
indeed.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. Do you mean... Wow, flashback again. During the night? I can hear them, you know. The footsteps of the god of death. Shut the fuck up. What? I can hear the god of death as he moves. That ability naturally draws me into cases just like this.
Anyway,
Which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms and I had a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell and I saw a white shadow cross the corridor. I gave chase right away. As I followed it, I saw the shadow go into your room.
correct.
I ran into your room and I saw what was happening. I have intervened immediately, of course.
However,
That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to... yeah, me seeing whoever the master silent was, they ended up dead.
correct.
And their murder was disguised and the dojo key wound up in my room. It has to all be the work of the mastermind, in an attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me. Well, yeah, that does make the most sense, right? Like... if I think about it, there's not much else that makes sense. But, yeah, it's a difficult case, this. So that all means... This all would mean that whoever killed Mukuro is also the mastermind, right?
Indeed.
I don't have conclusive evidence, but that's what I think. But that's really bad. If true, it means the mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. Well, nothing was actually stopping them. Wait, but doesn't that create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to use the class star to try and kill you because they couldn't interfere, right? They could have just killed her.
Correct.
You're right, that is a contradiction. And it's not just Mukuro. They needed the class trial to kill me, but seems ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction. So what does it all mean?
In other words...
It means that the mastermind is the one who has been cornered. Huh?
Makoto.
Just a little more. A little more and I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the ultimate despair. Of the other ultimate despair. The other ultimate despair. There's no doubt that Mukuro was the ultimate despair and that she's dead. But I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person. It's not.
Indeed.
If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused that event. You're talking about...
That's right.
What happened a year ago, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The tragedy, whoever's responsible for that. That the ultimate despair?
It would seem...
That despicable group for whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. Then they're...
Indeed.
Make no mistake. They're the root of all the evil that has forced us to go through this. That is the ultimate despair. And that is our real enemy. Wow, chapter 5's over. No one died, yeah. The ultimate despair. A group of people who caused a tragedy 1 year ago. Those same people put together this killing game and began broadcasting it around the world. The most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the mastermind's true identity. Our enemy has finally been revealed. But right now...
Anyway...
Right now, we have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story could come after. Yeah, you're right. Kyoko, do you still have that one thing? Monokuma's secret tool that you got from the headmaster's room?
Indeed.
Of course I do. It's an absolutely vital part of ensnaring the mastermind. I would never part with it. And it can open any door in the school, right?
That's right.
That's right. Then we should be able to use that on that door, right?
It's true.
Let's find out. Kyoko took out the key with the Monokuma design on it and slid into the keyhole. And then click. Yes, it opened.
Indeed.
And now we can get out of here. Let's go. Sounds good. We quickly opened the door and made our escape from the garbage pit. Finally. We were finally free. But there wasn't even time to take a breath of relief, because the real fight had just begun. Damn. Ultimate pain, ultimate suffering, ultimate despair, ultimate execution, ultimate death. After leaving the garbage pit, we found ourselves in a tunnel extending straight up like a chimney. There was a metal ladder leading up into the tunnel. We started climbing the ladder, intent on reaching the surface. The ladder was impossibly long, I couldn't even see where it ended. We climbed into the darkness. The passage was so dark and cramped I couldn't even see my own feet beneath me. I had no idea where we were so far down. Don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you. Yeah, I'll be careful. But now that you said that, I'm getting kind of nervous. Maybe talking will help keep my mind off it. So Kyoko, there's something I want to ask you. You said you're the ultimate detective, right? So how long have you been doing detective work? How long? Ever since I can remember. I come from a long line of detectives. Detective work is in my blood. There was a time when being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family's always seen it that way. Then, is your family famous?
Wrong.
Quite the opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, many people haven't heard of us. Huh? But how come? It's like your family tradition, right? So,
Right.
because we take pride in it. Pride.
Indeed.
A detective is neither light nor shadow. We represent neither justice nor evil. That is how we can uncover the absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things, and to do that, we have to stand separate from the rest of society. Which is why we've made a conscious effort to conceal our existence. A conscious effort.
It's true.
It's kind of old-fashioned, and I can't say it's entirely rational. But it's a family creed, and we do what we must to protect it. Because, like I said, it's a source of pride. Pride. So that explains... Before I came here, when I was looking up info... There was no I there, when I was looking up info about the school online. I never saw anything about her, because she hid herself on purpose.
However...
And yet, I gave up some of that pride. Huh? In order to enter Hope's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing it was something a true Kirigiri detective would never do. But the reason you gave up that pride, the reason you would go so far to enter Hope's Peak, it was because that's how much you wanted to reconnect with your dad, right? That's no shape in that.
What?
Reconnect? I had absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father. Huh? But you'd be reuniting after all those years, right? You would have had so much to talk about.
Wrong.
There's nothing I want to talk to my father about.
However...
There's something I want to say to him, though. What? No matter what it takes, I have to find him and tell him, face to face. What is it?
So...
I want to sever all ties with him. Sever? The last time I saw him, I was still very young. So I don't remember myself, but apparently he was extremely intelligent. He was in line to become the next head of the Kirigiri family. He was talented, he had a promising future.
However...
But he had no interest in detective work. So he cut himself off from the family. Not long after that my mother died and he simply ran away. He went to my grandfather, and they had a huge argument. And young as I was, he left me behind. I'm sure there was a reason for that. I'm sure your dad wanted to take you with him.
Right.
If that's true, then I need to thank him. Thank him for leaving me. Because unlike him, I take pride in the work I do. I take pride in my family name. So every last part of me is happy he didn't take me with him. If I'd gone with him, I never would have had the chance to become a detective. I was above Kyoko on the ladder, so I wasn't able to see her expression. So I couldn't tell. I couldn't see how she looked when she said that. What she might have been feeling. All I could tell was that compared to her usual self, she was more talkative and more emotional. I don't blame him, you know, he had his own life to live. That's what anyone in my position might say, right? But it's not true.
However...
But there's one thing that I can never forgive. Really?
So...
The way everyone else looked at me. I was never sad about being left behind. Like I said, I think it was a good thing.
However...
But when the rest of my family looked at me, they saw something different. They only saw me as the little girl that was abandoned by her father. That's how they see me even to this day. His shadow has been following me my entire life. I'm sick of it. I need him out of my life. I need to step out of his shadow.
Correct.
That's why I have to find him and tell him we're no longer family. In order to settle the past, in order to remove him from my life forever, I have no doubt he forgot about me years ago. I doubt it. But your family, to just cut him out like that.
Wrong.
Our only connection is through blood, nothing more. Are we connected by heart and soul? No.
Hey.
Is blood really enough to call someone family? Only connected by blood, not by heart or soul. I was so shocked to hear her say something like that. I didn't know how to respond. So instead, I said nothing. I just kept climbing the ladder in complete silence. And after I didn't know how long, we finally reached the top. Looks like this is it.
Indeed.
On the other side of this door, Hope Speaker is waiting for us. We're back.
That's right.
Remember that hatch on the ground near the trash room? I'm fairly certain that's where we'll come out. I unlocked it earlier, so it should open without much trouble. Well, here goes nothing. I reached my right hand up and pushed against the hatch. The hatch opened with ease, and so I would close it immediately. Looks like we're back. But I can't believe how long the ladder was. I'm exhausted. I can't exactly say we're safe and sound, but at least we're out of there. Now we're back in Hope Speak Academy. Kyoko, thank you. I never would have gotten out of there without you. No thanks necessary. I was just returning a favor. This is how we got out of the garbage pit. I never would have meant that's what this lad. So, now what do you do? I'm glad I didn't die, of course, but if the masterminds found out, and I'm worried about you too, you helped me so that I might...
Listen.
You're worried? Yeah, of course.
So then...
Then let's just get a concrete answer. Huh?
In other words...
Let's ask Monokuma if there's a problem with you escaping. Wait, that's...
However...
If we try to hide, it's only a matter of time till we're found out, and it's not like we can run anyway. As she said that, she pointed at a nearby surveillance camera. So you're saying, rather than stressing out over getting caught, we should just give up now? Don't worry, what do you think is going to happen isn't. Because the mastermind is the one that's ensnared. The mastermind is ensnared? You said something like that before, what does it mean?
So...
The mastermind stood exposed during the investigation into Mukuro's death. There was a moment where the mastermind let their guard down. There was.
Right.
If we can talk to Monokuma, we can confirm it. It'll be better for us if we go to him directly before he tracks us down. That should help with our negotiations. I'm still a little, super uneasy about this. But we don't really have a choice, do we?
Indeed.
Monokuma should be in the gym.
Shall we go?
Let's get going.
Shall we go?
Well now.
Kyoko, I don't mind so much. But Makoto's supposed to be dead. What's he doing here? That's exactly how I thought he'd react. Are we really gonna be okay? He was supposed to be punished. Did Kyoko help you?
What?
So what if I did? What will you do? If the guilty party is exposed during the class trial, they alone will be executed. It's unfortunate, but that is the rule. So now we're gonna punish you again, and this time I won't leave anything to chance. Kyoko, do whatever you feel I have to. What?
However...
But before you do, let me just say one thing.
No.
If you execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that that matters to you, right? Huh? I lose? You explain yourself. What do you mean by that?
Because...
Well, you set up this latest cross trial yourself, right? I was getting in your way, so you wanted an excuse to kill me.
In other words...
I was supposed to be chosen as blackened, and then executed, right? Hey, what are you talking about?
However...
But then Makoto chose to overlook my lie. Your plan came crashing down. The results of the trial weren't at all what you were here expecting. Because you'd never imagined that in a position, one person would protect another like that.
Right.
And in response to that unexpected development,
Indeed.
you reacted by proclaiming Makoto the blackened and trying to execute him. You made a choice out of desperation. No, more than that. You must have realized that Makoto, who refused to be manipulated, was a threat to you as well.
However...
But then there was another unexpected development waiting for you. An entity that would throw a wrench, so to speak, in your precious execution machinery. Alter ego. You never imagined the possibility of a being that could come to our aid even after you'd killed it.
Am I wrong?
Now, here's the absolute truth. Makoto didn't kill Mukuro, you did.
Listen to me.
So executing Makoto for it would surely be a violation of your rules, which I know you love so much. If the blackhead is exposed, they alone will be executed. That's what you told us, right? And that means I lose? You talk a big game, you're saying that blackened is me and not Makoto.
Well?
And you can prove this, right?
Well...
No, I can't. Don't just say it like that. What is that? A comedy routine? To make such bold claims without a shred of evidence?
That doesn't matter.
I don't have any right now, but with a little more time I guarantee I'll find some.
That's right.
Because no matter how deeply you try to bury it, there is only ever one absolute truth. And now you're trying to talk like some kind of famous detective type.
Because...
If Makoto really was the killer, he never would have come to you willingly like this. He would have feared for his life, feared another execution, he would have tried to run and hide. You would have been gripped by the despair you so love to inspire.
However...
But here we are, confronting you with nothing but hope in our hearts.
What the heck?
And that's supposed to be enough to convince me in absence of evidence?
Indeed.
It's not you I'm trying to convince.
Hey.
If you were to execute Makoto now, everyone out there watching this would be extremely displeased. Huh?
Indeed.
Imagine what everyone out there would think of you killed Makoto. They would assume that you'd killed him because what we said is actually right.
Listen to me.
Despair can never kill hope.
Hey.
Of course you could say we're just making this all up. You're welcome to prove us wrong. No, you have no choice but to prove it. Because if you kill Makoto without proving your own innocence, you'll be accepting your own defeat. If you want to earn our despair, fair and square,
That's what we have to do.
then I suggest you take my advice. So, what is this advice of yours?
It's true.
To do Mukuro's trial all over again? Only this time, you follow the school regulations to ensure a fair trial.
It's time for one last showdown. One final battle between hope and despair. Hey,
Well, that would make for a proper climax, wouldn't you say? A fair trial, one last showdown, in other words. This would be our chance to expose the true identity of Mukuro's killer, of the masterminds themselves. But what reason would the mastermind have to accept the challenge? They'll probably just execute me without another word. Interesting.
Barrett!
Very interesting indeed. Barry.
What's wrong?
I was getting bored, so I decided to change things up a little. So time for bear jokes. Now, what you've suggested might be possible. It would certainly make for one honey of a climax.
in other words...
Does that mean you accept?
You guys!
If we do things your way, that'll be enough to convince you and the viewers, right? And it would cause you unbearable despair, right? Then I'm prepared to agree to your terms. Will you hope win out, or will my despair claim victory?
I can barely
Let's have one
contain
final
myself.
grisly showdown. He agreed. Then we still have a shot at this.
Barrett!
But this is the long-awaited climax, right? Just guessing the killer is barely a fitting end.
You guys!
So for this final face-off, you'll have to unearth all the mysteries that have been buried here. All the mysteries? That's right, every last mystery that's parked around the school. If you can do that,
I can barely
then that'll be enough to
contain myself.
qualify as a victory for you.
It's true.
That's what we've been trying to do all along. Okay, well good, then let's bear it all. If you can claw your way to the truth of Mukuro's death and solve the mysteries of this school,
You guys!
then you win. But if you can't do all of that, we'll all face execution, right? I can barely contain my excitement. When you learned the whole truth, what kind of despair will you show me? We're as excited as you are, I'm sure.
Listen to me.
When we're uncovered every last truth, how will the ultimate despair reveal their own despair? I honestly can't believe how this has all turned out.
Hey,
But before we get started, I want to clarify one more thing. Do you remember the rule? When one student kills another, that's when a class trial is held.
What's wrong?
I remember that for sure, so what?
hey,
I just want to confirm that is what you said, right? And it's a true statement? You don't have to be so suspicious. I've said it before, but it bears repeating. Everything is based on the school regulations, and having a trial for Mukuro is no exception to that. Huh? Mukuro's trial is no exception, then it's part of the regulations, which would have to mean that whoever killed Mukuro. It's a very polarizing approach, I know, but okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure that I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants. All of them high school students, and the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since killing the game began are those 16 students. What?
listen.
Are you telling the truth? Why did it go quiet all of a sudden? I'm not talking, I got nothing left to say to you. So let's get lost here, would you say? Why so mad? He seems emotionally unstable.
Hey!
Leave me alone, get out of here. Okay, I'm going, I just... You're really gonna let me go? I don't even care anymore. You're all gonna get your punishment later anyway. I need to start getting it ready. A super duper extra special punishment, overflowing with despair.
Hey.
Come on, Makoto, let's go. Okay. Monokuma unstable laughter seemed to cling to us as we walked away, and just like that we were out of the gym. I could hardly believe it, but somehow I ended up not getting executed. I still had my life and we still had a chance. Overall, things turned out way better than expected. Once again I was in Kyoko's debt. Kyoko, thank you. Everything I have right now is because of you.
However...
Don't thank me just yet, the real battle is still ahead of us. Yeah, true. But still, I'm glad it worked out. I wasn't sure if the enemy would accept my proposal. But honestly, why would the mastermind agree to that? I mean, they don't stand to gain anything from a final showdown, do they?
So...
They had no choice but to accept. Huh?
Because...
It's all because of that one moment that the mastermind let down their guard, like I said. So, when was it that the mastermind let their guard down?
So...
I wasn't there to hear it myself, but do you remember what the mastermind said? They said that they had hijacked the airways to broadcast our school life to the outside world, right? Yeah, they definitely said that.
Listen.
And what did you think when you heard that? Pretty hard to believe, right? Well, I mean, the idea of actually taking over the airwaves seems so unbelievable.
Indeed.
You don't exactly read about something like that happening very often, so it's hard to imagine. In other words, that kind of thing is extremely difficult to pull off.
However...
And yet somehow the mastermind was able to do it.
In other words...
But think of it another way. There must have been some reason they had to do something that difficult. A reason.
So...
They had to show the world something, no matter the cost. Us killing each other. They wanted to show the world.
It would seem...
The mastermind has been very adamant about not killing us directly, but forcing us to kill each other. And all their rules and regulations were designed to encourage that. Yeah, that makes sense. If those stupid regulations didn't exist, nobody would have killed anybody.
In other words...
So the mastermind's ultimate goal was to make us kill each other, and show that off to the world. But why?
Correct.
To prove a point, most likely. Prove a point.
Hey.
The outside world has a name for the students of Hope Speaks, right? A certain concept. You're talking about hope, right?
That's right.
And for those of us who represent hope, to kill each other and sink into the despair, the masterminds want the world to see that. To try and prove that despair is better than hope. That's their goal as the ultimate student. As the ultimate student, yes. Ultimate despair. What? They want to prove that despair is better than hope. But that's ridiculous.
It's true.
You're right, it is. Ridiculous. Completely irrational. It's the kind of thing that nobody but those who call themselves the ultimate despair would devise. That group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. But is that really the only reason for making the rest of us suffer?
Makoto.
I know how angry it must make you, and yet... that same motivation is what led to the mastermind revealing their weakness. What?
In other words...
Because their goal is to broadcast this killing game to the world. The mastermind has to be more particular than is reasonable about their own regulations. If the mastermind simply ignored their rules, this wouldn't have been a game but a one-sided slaughter.
At the very least...
At least, that's how those who are watching this would have seen it. And that's why the mastermind couldn't kill any of us themselves.
Indeed.
That is precisely the reason. No matter how much I may hate what I'm doing, I haven't violated a single one of their regulations. Junko broke the rules, so she was punished, but in my case, they couldn't lay a finger on me.
Right.
So instead, they tried to use the class trial, following all their proper rules to get me killed. They began a trial that didn't have a right answer, then made me out to be the killer. But even that didn't work.
It's true.
Yes, thanks to you. And due to that failure, the mastermind took yet another risk. They attempted to kill you instead, who also was not the killer. And when that fact was exposed on live TV to the outside world, the mastermind had to accept your suggestion.
Indeed.
To prove to the world that despair is better than hope, they have to defeat us in perfect form.
In other words...
It would only do the mastermind harm to have it shown that they'd violated their own regulations. But all of that was a hunch, right? And you were still able to get the mastermind to accept your challenge.
However...
Well, it's only thanks to you that we got that chance, because you believed in me. Another path opened up. Still, I can't believe how much of the mastermind's thoughts and plans you were able to figure out. I didn't have the slightest clue.
Wrong.
In the end, though, I couldn't prove any of it. It was just my reasoning. Essentially, I was making a bet. But it looks like I got it right. This time, at least, I won the bet. She let a quick sigh. I took it as a small sign of relief. To be honest, I haven't been that nervous in a long time. I totally couldn't tell you were nervous at all. You seemed totally confident from the moment we decided to go talk to him. Well, presenting a strong demeanor is a fundamental part of negotiation and persuasion, wouldn't you say? Plus, if I'd shown my uneasiness, that would have just made you that much more uneasy. Yeah, you're probably right. How pathetic.
However...
Anyway, we can't relax just yet. All we've done is earn another chance to fight. We have to win this time.
Correct.
But everything we've gone through will have been for nothing. You're right. If we can't defeat the mastermind, it'll cost us our lives. There's no option except to win.
Hey.
But before we begin the final battle, we have to tell the others what's going on. True, but now we know who our real enemy is. All we have to do is now work together with everyone to destroy the mastermind. Work together with everyone.
However...
Is that really possible? Huh?
Anyway,
right now we have to go find the others.
shall we go?
They're probably in a dorm somewhere. Shall we go?
Anyway. Hey.
I don't think it's here. Come on, we need to keep looking. There's dogs room. Is she inside? They're not in their rooms. Are we?
Hey.
Why are we knocking? That doesn't work right. Well, I doubt he is then. Okay, they're probably in a cafeteria or something. But this is not supposed to be open. Doesn't it always say the dining hall will be locked? And suddenly we were greeted with... Okay, you again. Well, he's malfunctioning, I guess. Is he broken? I suppose his emotional instability reaches limit. Sure. Jeez, what the heck?
However...
I wonder what that was all about. I couldn't help but let out a sigh of relief. Ah.
Is that
Jesus Christ! What the... Jesus! Look at what's on the screen, mate. I'll just take a little sip. And let's forget we were talking about 15-year-olds. 15! Imagine. Could you imagine?
You guys!
It is! There's no two ways about it. That's Makoto.
You survived?
Jeez. You're like a stubborn little cockroach, you know that?
You know what? I like to believe Byakuya said that with affection. I like to believe, because it sounded so affectionate.
I'm just asking to make sure, but you're not a ghost, right?
No, not at all. Oh, what the fuck? So let's tear up.
What?
Wait, what's that smell?
What the heck?
Yeah, man, that seriously stinks. It's Makoto, he smells like wet dog. Get away! Shoo, shoo! And in my flash, my tears dried up. Really?
Makoto.
There's no time to indulge in an extended happy reunion. We need to tell everyone what happened with Monokuma.
Yes.
Explain what? But it's okay that you're here. What if the mastermind catches you?
It's true.
That's related to what I have to tell you all. I need to tell you all about the last class trial. Last class trial?
In other words...
We're going to redo Makuro's trial.
Huh?
What? Seriously?
How about that?
What's the point of redoing? Makoto killed her, right? No, I didn't do it, like I keep telling you.
Wrong.
Makoto isn't the killer, and of course it's not me or any of you. Then who is it?
I see.
What she's saying is it was all the work of the mastermind. What? You're saying the mastermind killed Makuro?
That's right.
That's right, it was an elaborate trap contrived by the mastermind. Makoto spotted the trap in time and did what he had to do to stop it.
However...
But his decision meant that he would be the one to die.
What did
You
you
spotted
say?
the trap, did you, Makoto? You made it sound like it was easy, I just, you know...
However...
But executing Makoto, who wasn't the Blackened, is a clear violation of the school regulations. The rules state that only the Blackened is to be executed. The mastermind broke their own rules. Which is why I went to negotiate with them to have the trial one more time. And the mastermind agreed. Does that mean they really did break the rules? They had no choice but to agree. You used the TV broadcast to gain leverage you needed, didn't you?
Correct.
Very observant of you.
Naturally.
I recall what you said at the end of the last trial. When you said, now it's the mastermind that's ensnared. That's what you were referring to.
Don't be mean!
Hey, I'm totally in the dark here. For anyone who doesn't understand, you can ask Kyoko to explain it again. Later. So knowing all this, what would we do now?
About that.
It's about who killed Mukuro, right? So our job is to expose the mastermind? But there's more to it than that, correct? Yeah. For us to win this time, we have to solve every last mystery surrounding the school. Every last mystery. But we've been looking around all this time and we still don't know anything yet, right?
Anyway...
You probably guessed already, but if we lose this time, everyone dies. Everyone? Hey, who said you could agree to those terms without talking to the rest of us? I'm fine with things the way they are. I'm fine living here forever with Master. I mean, I want to get out of here as soon as humanly possible. Anyway, at this point, the only way for us to survive is to unravel the truth. In other words, one decisive final battle. A rather interesting development, I say. But figuring out who the mastermind is and how they killed Mukuro and all the school mysteries. It's a pretty tall freaking order. Maybe this time the trial is different. We know who our enemy is now. So if we work together and search as hard as we can, I'm sure we'll solve all the mysteries. I'm not so sure about that. Huh? I can't agree with the idea of working together with everyone. You can't agree, why not? I mean, working together with everyone seems like the most obvious way to solve all the mysteries.
Indeed.
That's what I thought too at first, until Monokuma gave us that little hint of his. Yeah, that there's only 16 students that's been here. Yeah, exactly.
I see.
Monokuma said that, didn't he? Then Kyoko's opinion is perfectly reasonable. But why?
So in other
If
words...
the mastermind really is the one who killed Mukuro, as Kyoko says, then the mastermind would have had to set food in this school, right? Monokuma could probably murder Mukuro, but there's no way he could have disguised the scene like that.
In other words...
But according to Monokuma, the only people who would have set food in Hope's Peak are the 16 students who have been taking part in the killing game. Then the mastermind is... one of us. There was 15 of us in the main hall at the very beginning. Add in Mukuro and you get 16. That shouldn't be a mastermind. And it doesn't make sense, because it's not me and Kyoko, or Kyoko, and the rest had an alibi. So it doesn't make sense still. So one of them was... the fucking Mukuro was already fucking dead. You know what? It's Junko. You know what? Yeah, let's just fucking say it's Junko. Because, you know why? And I'll be very easy on this. Mukuro Kasava was already dead for several days. And he also said that there's one class trial per corpse. Right? Meaning that there wasn't a class trial for Junko as Monokuma killed her. So, after Junko put or someone put in a fucking knife into his stomach, then they became the killer. And only after that was a body discovered. So therefore, I argue that they are the killer. It's fucking Junko. Because the rest of the class trial, and I just believe that it's not Junko that was killed in the beginning. It was Mukuro disguised as something. I mean, come on. It has to be, right? That's right.
What?
No way!
You can't be serious. Wait, we can't say for sure that's true yet. Monokuma might have just said that all to confuse us all.
Indeed.
It's certainly a possibility, but only one among many. The mastermind being one of us is also a possibility. And that is one possibility we can't ignore. Yeah, I mean, they're an ultimate, right? The ultimate despair, so there must be a high schooler. You can't say it's not possible. But if one of us was the mastermind, that'd have to be controlling Monokuma somehow, right? But did you ever see anyone acting suspicious anytime Monokuma was active?
Well,
Maybe they snuck off and controlled him in a secret.
but...
I don't care how sneaky you are, we would have noticed someone sneaking off that many times.
I'm right.
Then maybe
right?
Monokuma was an autopilot, maybe loaded up all the dialogue and actions beforehand. In that case, there was no way he could have had all those back and forth conversations with us. Well, it wouldn't be entirely impossible if they directed the flow of the conversation. Well, maybe, but still.
This is a school announcement. You've all probably figured this out by now, but at this point, the killing game has now entered true ending mode. So, in the name of fairness, I will unlock every room in the school.
Damn, that's easy. Ik moet even naar de wc. Tot zo. I mean, obviously, like, this is obviously the thing that would happen. Yeah, like, come on. Come on, you guys. Let me see.
Look wherever you
We're
want.
back.
Solve the you
back.
want. Solve the mystery in whatever way you see fit. Then we can all meet up at the class trial, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm?
How very magnanimous of him to unlock all the rooms.
That's fine.
The time for talk is done, now we need to begin our investigation. But I was planning on working alone from the beginning anyway.
In the name of
At this point
my
I can't rely only on myself, on the Togami blood flowing through my veins. I have no time to worry about the rest of you. Each of you must uphold your responsibility. Well then, after making his final statement, Byakuya left the dining room. Master, he didn't take me with him?
Hey.
Do you blame him? Without Master, the rest of you are like coffee with cream without the cream, or coffee. You're totally useless. So bye. With that, Toka trudged out of the dining hall. And now she's gone. And you're gonna go off by yourself, right, Kyoko?
Indeed.
That's right. Which just leaves Makoto, Hina, and me.
You know?
In that case, I'm gonna go by myself too.
Just a second.
Wait, how come?
How about that?
Just wait and see. I'm gonna use my totally awesome spirit power to figure out the mouse man's identity. Laughing loud, the hero left the dining hall. Everyone's really gonna go off by themselves? What about you, Hina? I guess I'll do the same thing.
But,
I mean, it's not that I don't trust everyone, you know.
I
But up till now, I haven't really been all that useful. I just depended on Sakura and everyone else. You're not useless. If you hadn't been here, I would have died. Makoto. That's really nice of you to say. But still, I know I've mostly been totally useless.
okay.
So I figure at least here at the end, maybe I can find something that'll help us all get out of here. So I'm gonna go off and do it all on my own. Okay, see you later. Hina was in surprisingly high spirits as she dashed out of the dining hall. And once again, it's just us two.
Indeed.
Indeed. So you're gonna go off on your own too, right, Kyoko?
However,
Well, don't misunderstand. Just because we're going to do our searches separately doesn't mean we can't still work together.
so...
That goes for all of us. I think I see what you mean. Doing our own investigating, it doesn't mean we can't work together in the end. I should just see it as us splitting up to cover more ground. And then we can get back together and share what we found. Yeah, that's right.
So then...
Well, I'd better get going. I have an endless list of things I need to check.
Correct.
Monokuma said all doors in the school have been unlocked, right? So we should be able to investigate every nook and cranny in the school. We can visit all the places we couldn't go before.
Makoto,
no matter what it takes, we have to uncover the truth. By any means necessary. If that Kyoko was gone, leaving only me, I don't have time to waste either. I have to begin my search. I still can't believe the mastermind might be one of us. So that's what I have to prove. I'll prove that the mastermind isn't one of us. I'll expose the mastermind's true identity and solve the mystery of the school. And then we can all escape together. I guess I'll start by taking another look at Muku's Monokuma file. Due to the explosion, the victim identity is unknown. They were, however, dead before the blast. The victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. They had also been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old. Once we found out who killed Mukuru Kasaba, then we'll know who the mastermind is. So where should I start with my investigation to figure out who killed him? I guess I should start with the rooms that were locked up until now. The headmaster's room, the biolab, and the door in the data center with Monokuma's face on it. Oh, and the second floor of the dorms where the gate was down before. That should be open now, right? After that I'll have to double check the areas that are connected to the murder. Which means the guard and the dojo. Okay, time to get started. Well, thank you. That's a lot of places, so that actually helps a lot. Okay, let's go check. You know what we're gonna do? Oh, what? I did not know we could do that. That's actually kinda helpful. Let's go to Hina. Hi Hina.
Hey, Makoto.
Hey Makoto, are you here to look around too? Is that what you're doing here? Yeah, I can't help but wonder about the Monokuma door.
Yeah.
So I figured, if all the doors in the school have been unlocked, that one should be open too, right?
But...
Although I couldn't bring myself to open it. Because it might explode, right? And that would really suck. So you open it. I'm sure she didn't mean it, but she made it sound like she was okay with me getting blown up. No, you do it.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so I guess I'll open it. Wait, let me take cover first. I don't want to get exploded. Wow. Nina raced over to the nearby desk and hid underneath it. Okay, go ahead. Everything will be okay, right? Alright, here goes nothing. I threw all my weight into it, but the door opened much easier than expected. Damn. There was no explosion, thankfully. My first expression was... Oh, this place is totally sci-fi. Yeah, I was kind of thinking the same thing. There's a hedge. What is this device? It looks like some kind of control panel. It really is over the top though, like some kind of military installation or something. Yeah, it kind of looks like a mech cockpit, right? Hifumi would probably freak out if he saw it. Fuck. So the Monokuma room has a control panel that looks like some kind of cockpit. Then could that mean...
Okay.
Alright, let's stop poking at it or whatever. I'm gonna start pushing buttons. Hold on, you can't just or whatever something like this. But it was too late. Hina was already jabbing away at the control panel. Huh? Did you hear that? Yeah, I think it came from the other room. Hina, what did you push? I'm not totally sure, but I think it was that one, the button that says Data Center. Data Center? I took a good look at the control panel. And I saw a bunch of buttons, each with the name of a room next to it. And just like Hiran said, there was one labeled Data Center. That must be the one she pushed. But the data center, that's right next door, the room we were just in. That's where the strange noise came from. I probably better go check it out.
Yeah!
Yes, please, I'm kinda scared of him out of my mind right now, so I'll just cheer you on from over here. Monokuma's probably there now then. Did I just hear what I think I heard? Yeah. Is that Monokuma? Yeah, he's not gonna say anything because no one's controlling him. Hey! Oh wow, give me all your donuts. Hi Hina. Hello. Give me all your donuts. Is that you, Hina?
What?
What? Aw man, what's it? How did you know?
Say what?
And what is this? Some kind of remote control camera kind of setup? Don't even know what you're controlling?
Hello.
Well, I mean, I can't really see anything from in here.
Found it.
I guess what I found is self-destruct button. Whatever you do, don't push it.
Too bad.
Aw man. We're seriously gonna push it? Anyway, I guess that settles it. The room with the Monokuma drawing on it and the control panel inside. Yeah, that's the control room. Oh, hey Makoto, what the heck was that just now? Monokuma? What do you mean? What you were controlling just now was Monokuma.
Huh?
Monokuma? Wait, for real? Yep, it looks like the panel definitely controls Monokuma. Which means the mastermind has been controlling Monokuma from this room. Yeah, they were definitely in here. The mastermind has been controlling Monokuma from this room. And this control room is totally separate from the data center area with all the monitors. In other words...
Hey,
maybe the mastermind can't monitor us and control Monokuma at the same time. Kyoko's theory was right. But if the mastermind's been controlling Monokuma from here, that means they've been inside the school this whole time, right? I guess that would have to be true. But if that is true... yeah, it means he was telling the truth. And the mastermind, Monokuma's puppeteer, really is the 16th student? No, it can't be. There's no way, right? Monokuma's control room. What's wrong, Makoto? I don't like the face you're making. Oh no, it's nothing. Oh, okay. What about you? Is everything okay? Oh, well, it's just... this is where the mastermind's been hiding, right? Who knows if they set up traps or something? I can't say this isn't possible. But I really hope it's not true. So, like, you wanna leave soon? There's still lots of other places to check out. Yeah, good point. We can waste all the time sitting around here. Okay, you wanna get going? Yeah. No, I wanna open that hatch. What's wrong, Code? Let's hurry up to get out of it. No! Let me open that hatch! The mastermind is probably in there. Cause where the fuck else would he be? They be. Like... otherwise, they would have to be somewhere around the school, and I don't see that as a possibility right now. They are in there. But they don't want me to check it out. So that means I'm right. Let me watch. Okay, sure. No. Is this all I can check out here? Okay. Click. As soon as the door to the data center was closed, I heard a strange sound. What was that? The door just locked on its own. What? My hand shot out to grab the doorknob. You're right, it's locked, but why? Of course it's locked, because the data center is now restricted. Monokuma?
Just a second!
Hey, no fair, you can't just go around restricting whatever you feel like.
Hey,
It's for your benefit. Because if that room stays open, I won't be able to move around. Imagine how depressed everyone would get if the school mascot just up and stopped moving. Then that room.
Yep.
As you may have guessed, that's where my controls are. So right now you're being operated by someone in that room.
Yes, indeed.
Correct, Mundo.
You're a liar!
But it doesn't make any sense. We were just in there and we didn't see anyone. Oh, you didn't, did you? Are you sure you were as thorough as you could have been? Yes, I was, but the game wouldn't let me be. Guess you were in the fucking hedge. Did you happen to check a certain suspicious hedge? No way. The hedge on the floor? Too bad. That was your one big chance and you blew it.
Too bad.
Of course that hatch can't be opened from the outside anyway, so whatever. Okay, fair then. Sure. then okay. Now then, this room is officially restricted, so no more investigating. I'll be relying on you guys to tell the others. Peace. He's gone, but...
So,
Was he telling the truth? The mastermind was hiding in there? In fact, if you think back to when we got locked out of the control room, that proves it for sure.
Huh?
Then, when I said we should leave... Well, that hatch couldn't be opened from the outside anyway, right? So it's not your fault.
Sorry.
Okay. Anyway, we don't have to let it get to us. We have to stay positive and make the most of the time we have left. You're right. If there's one thing I'm good at, it's keeping my body moving.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go run around and tell everyone what we found here. Nice. You've got me more motivated again.
You got it.
Okay, I'm out. See you later. Nina took off at full sprint, and I have to do what I can too. That's the only way forward. Okay, so we checked the data center. Wait, wanna come up? Let me in! Yakuya's in Headmaster's room. Let's just go there then. Wow. Looks clean. This is the Headmaster's room. I've heard an awful lot about it, but this will be my first time seeing it for myself. Makoto, it's you. Oh, Gyaki. More things to investigate. Let's get this stuff out of the way with. Yeah, okay. Bookcases. The bookshelves seem really well made. It's filled with files and textbooks. Okay. There are documents scattered all over the floor. Someone makes me feel anxious. Hey, that's the katana. There's robes and even a shield and display case.
Come on.
Hey Makoto,
Not possible.
are you ignoring me? You think I'll forgive that just because you're you?
Such.
When we get out of here, remember this moment. Okay, we'll talk to you. Well, you came to the right place this time. Would you like to see something interesting? What do you mean, something interesting? Take a look at this. It was on top of that pathetically ostentatious desk. Class 78 student registry. It contains profiles for all of us and Mukuro.
So in other
Apparently
words...
Class 78 refers to us. Wait, when we found Mukuro's profile in Kyogo's room...
I see.
That's right, I also mentioned Class 78. This must be where Kyoko got that page. And since the rest of our profiles are listed in there along with hers,
In other words...
there can be no doubt Mukuro was a student here at Hope's Peak Academy, just like the rest of us. Mukuro Ikasawa, the 16th student. That must be how Kyoko learned about it. But it seems that Kyoko was in a hurry. Huh? What do you mean? I'm talking about when she stole it. Yeah, she ripped it out. Not even tearing, the way the paper had been crumbled. She must have been in a hurry. Well, since she snuck in to get it, I'm sure she wanted to get out of it as fast as possible. But what's your point? She was in so much of a hurry that she only got the first page. The first page. Correct. Mukuro profile actually contains 2 pages. What?
So in other words...
when it comes to this profile, there was more information about Mukuro that we still didn't have. What kind of information is it? Why do you ask me to explain every little thing? You can read, can't you? It seems to be some sort of detailed report that's put together by the headmaster himself.
Interesting.
I don't know what kind of man he was, but I'm glad he left us such an interesting clue. I was half listening to Yakuya as I skimmed through the report. Mukuro's reappeared suddenly in the background. The entire entity floats, close but just out of reach. The entity known as the Ultimate Despair. Right now I can't be sure if this is a single person or some kind of group. Whatever it is, Mukuro definitely has some sort of connection to it. I have a bad feeling about this. I need to push forward with my research into the Ultimate Despair. And I need to pay attention to Mukuro's behavior too. This is just my gut feeling, but I think she's dangerous. Despite the countless battles she must have gone through as a member of Fenrir, when she entered Hope's Peak, she didn't display any sign of battle wounds or scars. But Mukuro's corpse had wounds several days old. Wait. Then it has to be Junko, right? Sakura was one. Okay, let's go over the corpses, because my theory is someone's body has been used twice, because everyone has an alibi and the rest couldn't have done it. We know that. Unless Kyoko is fucking with us, but why would you do that? Sakura stabbed one singular time. Junko impaled by multiple, like, spear thingies. Leon, blunt object, so that would already be gone. Because those are not wounds. Wounds are only when you cut things, right? I would say. Chihiro, blunt object, and also only one hit. Mondo, turn to the bottom. Taka, blunt object. Ifumi, blunt object. Celeste's body doesn't exist anymore. Well, also more blunt force and burning. Sakura poisoned herself, so no wounds. Except for the... yeah... that wouldn't make sense. Body's way too small for that. That's it. So, it's Junko or Leon, because they had multiple wounds. The rest has singular wounds. And it was a woman's body, we could tell, so it has to be Junko then. Right. When she ended Hope's Peak, she didn't display any signs of battle wounds. Of course, yeah. That fact alone proves her a tremendous skill in battle. Naturally, I want to believe her, she's one of my students after all. But if I decide she's a danger to the other students, I will be forced to take all reasonable measures. Mukuro was a part of the Ultimate Despair. I don't think there can be any doubts about it now. But would that mean Mukuro and the Mastermind were allies? So why would they kill Mukuro? Plus, even the headmaster seemed to be afraid of what Mukuro was capable of. They would have had to take her completely by surprise to kill her like that. Or maybe it means the Mastermind is even stronger than Mukuro was.
What?
What's wrong, Makoto?
That's fine.
You seem to be lost at top, but I should probably point out one other thing. There's one other important bit of information with that file you should note. What is it? Did you notice the picture in there? A picture of a girl perhaps you've never seen before. A girl who seems to be included as part of our class on the 8th. That should be enough for you to figure out who the girl is. And further information about the girl is included in the file. 5'7" inches, 97 pounds, and even Mr. Vitals, 31, 22, 22. Well, what do you think? What do I think? Are you asking me if she has a nice body?
Stop talking.
No, listen, yes. What I'm trying to tell you is, maybe you'll want to keep that in mind for later. Maybe you'll make your way back to the corpse, and maybe you'll think, oh, could that mean? Wait, is he trying to say? There's a chance the body isn't actually Mukuro? Is that what he's saying? Personally, what I'm thinking seems all but impossible, but it wouldn't hurt to confirm, right?
It's all clear now.
That's all I was trying to say. What you do with that information is your business. So I'm back to being Byakuya's errand boy. Oh, and one last thing. It's a bit of an advice from me to you, so I suggest you pay attention. Twice a week, you seem to be getting along with Kyoko quite well. It's not that we're getting along, you've just done a lot to help me. Well, don't put too much faith in her.
In other words...
Because of her faith might be more than you can afford. Well, what are you saying? Just what I think, called a hunch. A hunch. But my hunches tend to be proven right. The advice is free this time. Take it or don't as you will. I'll keep it in mind, thanks. Okay, I need a messaging skip.
I don't have time.
Okay. "5'7" inches, 97 pounds, 31, 72, 32. Obviously not us. sarcasm girl. No. Kyoko is really light. Also, doesn't have more force around. Bitch, I gotcha. 5'7", 97 and 31. £97, 5'7" and 31. I'm a genius. Guess that's all there is. Well, is it? Let me just talk to... No, wait, Byakuya said we didn't need to talk to him anymore. We could just teleport to the next area, because I believe that was everything that was on this floor, right? Yeah, that was everything. And then they told us to check the biolab. Well, here I am in the biolab. It's so cold. It's like abnormally cold. Yeah, why is it freezing in the biolab? Shouldn't the freezers itself just be... I feel like I'm in a giant refrigerator. Seriously, why is it so cold? Those are the tarps. It's like tarps here. I've been seeing a lot of those things lately. So cold. Why is it cold in here? That's the first thing I need to figure out. Icicles? Why the icicles? There shouldn't be water in it. There's some kind of weird machine or something built into the wall. And on the left side there's a bunch of glowing blue lights. But on the other side... there's some kind of weird machine. There's a fridge for storing dead bodies. Does that mean this biolab is actually a morgue? I should probably take a closer look around. There's some kind of... yeah, okay. On the left, the right full hand lights are off. Everyone who's died is all in this little room. There's some kind of... Oh, there's some kind of booklet here. It looks like a instruction manual. We have an eco-friendly alternative to standard dry ice for all your cadaver needs. In addition to the germicidal lamps, we also provide an ozone generator for the removal of ethylene gas. Simply insert the cadaver and the blue light will let you know the automated systems have activated. Temperature and humidity levels will be adjusted automatically for optimum settings. With our system, anyone can keep a body fresh as a daisy for as long as you need. In the unlikely event of a problem, the red light will activate and the alarm will sound out immediately. The exterior is stainless steel and we do offer an optional leather upholstery upgrade package. This is the instruction manual for the fridge. Well, looking around, I think I get it. It seems clear to me now. It's some kind of makeshift morgue. You'll have secret. And about those lights by each slot. It looks like it's so set up that when a slot is occupied, a blue light comes on. Which would mean inside each slot lit up in blue. Another one of the victims is... Here light lamps has been added to the triplets. I can't let my emotions take control right now. There's only one thing I can do for everyone who has died. And that's defeat the mastermind. And to do that, I have to continue my investigation. I don't have any other option. Okay, let's go. Yeah, let's just go to the dojo, I think is closest. Yeah, let's just make the boss. The dojo. I don't know if there's anything in here. Hello, Toka. Toka. Oh, Toka, so this is where you were.
What do you want?
What do you want? I'm so disgusting. You want me out of your sight? No, that's not it at all. I just thought maybe you'd find a clue. Well, I haven't. I didn't find anything, not a single clue. I think since this place was related to the case, it would have to have something, right? But there wasn't anything out of the ordinary here. Give it back. Give me back my precious time. Calm down, Toko.
What's your problem?
Don't tell me to calm down. Never tell a lady to calm down. Do you have any idea what I'm going through right now? When everyone finds out, they're gonna call me useless, good for nothing. Nobody's gonna say that. Master will. I'm not sure I can disagree with that. I don't want that. I'm sick of always being looked down on. Why won't anyone accept me? Well, I don't think there are any clues here, so maybe I'm gonna get going. Okay, nothing here then. The garden where the bodies should be. We are missing a body. Wait, where's the body then? That doesn't make sense. Then there should be 10 lights on, right? There were 9 lights on in the... what's it called again? The morgue. The biolab. But there's been 10 killings. Unless... Mondo is officially Butter now. Huh? It's gone. Look at his body. It's not here. Maybe the body's inside the stool shed. I better check just to be sure. I didn't find anything even closer to that body. But if it's not in here either, then it must be. Could it be in the biolab? But the corpses are the only thing I need to check in here, so that's one other thing. That tarp. That tarp played a key role in another case, so I better look into it. Huh? I didn't notice this before, but there's a small biolab. Small stamp on one of the corner of the top. It says biolab, and this originally came from the biolab. Alright. Anything else I should check out? No. Crazy diamond pickaxe. That just... Yeah, I don't think any of this is related anyway. That's all I really need checking. Wow. Let me check that biolab again, please. Since Mukuro's body disappeared from the garden, could it have been in there? I need to check, but I have no idea how to open this thing. Yeah. Alright. That should be in the manual, right? Oh, there's some kind of visual to it. Yeah. Instruction manual for the fridge. So... Okay, so I guess we... Yeah, but there's 9 lights on, and there's 10 killings. So that means one person isn't actually dead, right? gate's open, we can finally check out the second floor of the dorms, which means I have to do it. What the fuck? Why is that black hat behind the wall? This is the second floor of the dorms. It looks like some ancient ruins. Oh no, it's more like a battlefield. It's like a bomb flew up here or something. Oh. The bed is completely torn apart. I mean, it's not even really a bed anymore, it's just garbage. Okay, a big pile of rubble. That's it, okay. It goes back. Okay. Guys, back. Oh, this is surprisingly clean. Nothing to check in here though. Oh, that's a Greek thingy, right? What's this? A locker room. This room is filled with lockers. It must have been for the Hope-speaking students who came before us. The class before ours must have used these lockers. Yeah, fuck up then, I'm gonna check all of them. You can... Yeah, we don't need to check this area. It's okay. Oh! This room doesn't really feel like it's a student's room. It has a more adult atmosphere.
Correct.
It's a headmaster's bright room. Kyoko!
Indeed.
I've been through this room several times already, but I still have one little regret. So I decided to check it out one more time. Huh? A regret? Kyoko looks almost meek right now. She must be thinking about something. I probably shouldn't bother her. Alright, I need to go. So, yeah, we'll save up here. And leave the rest of the investigation and final trial for the next time.